Krystal, what are you taking a look at?
Well, guys, for this post-Halloween monologue, I've got a truly terrifying scenario for you to contemplate. A horror show conjured from the depths of hell, so disturbing, I personally shudder to contemplate it. I'm talking, of course, about a 2024 Democratic primary contest giving us the non-choice of Kamala Harris versus Pete Buttigieg. I know what you're thinking. Have the gods forsaken us? But brace yourself for McKinsey Pete versus Freedom Kamala, because those are apparently the choices, quote unquote, that the donor class have in mind for us in 2024. So before I dig into these reports, let's establish a couple of things off the top. Number one, Joe Biden is really old and not exactly at his peak. I personally think even if he significantly declines between now and 2024, they will still prop him up and run him if he is remotely capable of that at all. But even that is a pretty significant if. Second of all, things ain't going so well for his elite selected heir apparent, Kamala Harris. Just take a look at this less than robust pitch she offered this weekend campaigning for Terry McAuliffe in Virginia and the less than roaring reception that she received.
Tell everybody you know to vote tomorrow. Nothing like saying, you want to meet me tomorrow? What you doing tomorrow? You got any plans tomorrow? Tomorrow's a good day. It's going to be a good day. But the point is,
So I don't give the donor class a lot of credit, but even they can see Kamala Harris is a disaster for Democrats. So who do they want to tap as the successor to Biden instead of Kamala? Mayor Pete. Here is Insider with that report. Influential Democratic donors who backed Pete Buttigieg in 2020 are privately chattering about prodding him to run for the White House in 2024 if President Joe Biden does not seek re-election, Insider has learned. Now, one thing that I love about this report is how public interest in either Pete or Kamala, or what they might offer as a platform, those trivial matters don't figure into this report at all. I mean, I actually truly appreciate that because it doesn't even try to offer a false pretense that what you or I might want is remotely a factor in these elite machinations. The article details a series of secret donor meetings in D.C., in Silicon Valley, and on Wall Street, where various Democratic Party bundlers got together to plot which sociopath they will try to foist on the American people next. Here's a little section I found particularly revealing. The donors at the dinners thought Buttigieg would not want to challenge Harris, the strategist said, while adding, in their estimation, it would take the masses gathering to push him to do it, meaning the donors of the world, the political elites. You catch that? When these people think of the masses gathering, they actually mean Silicon Valley elites, Wall Street ghouls, and Democratic Party apparatchiks. That is incredible. Here's another portion that I particularly enjoyed. Another quote, but the strategist also said there's a growing sentiment that there's no map in the universe that exists in which Kamala Harris could possibly win a national election. That person said Buttigieg supporters see him as our best hope, but they aren't the only donors already rumbling about organizing behind other Democratic candidates who might challenge Harris in 2024. So the people that forced us to have Kamala as vice president have finally realized that she's a total electoral disaster. Now, you might have figured that out by the utter failure of her presidential campaign, her disastrous management skills, or, I don't know, the fact that she held zero appeal outside of the media and like 100 people on Twitter. But anyway, they've belatedly figured that out. And so who do they see as, quote, our best hope? Pete Buttigieg, the man who couldn't get a single black person to vote for him in the Democratic primary. All right, I am being slightly unfair. Here were the actual results for Pete in the Democratic primary. In South Carolina, Pete won 2% of black voters. 2%. And that was after the media did everything they absolutely possibly could to prop this dude up. This is the guy that the donor class thinks is our best hope. And by our best hope, of course, they mean their best hope to keep control of the Democratic Party and continue that party's march into oblivion with the multiracial working class. Actually, a poll of Democratic primary voters recently came out that was pretty interesting as to their great white hope here, not to mention to Kamala. YouGov asked Democratic primary voters who they would back if Biden does not run in 2024. The sitting vice president, of course, should be the obvious answer, and Kamala does still lead here. But her standing in that poll has plummeted 22 points since the question was last asked in August, so just a couple months ago. Coming in second, not Pete, but Bernie Sanders. Even now, with Bernie like 304 years old and having had a heart attack and having indicated he has zero plans to run again, he still beats Pete Buttigieg. Pete is stuck in third, clustered in single digits with Warren, Abrams, and AOC all statistically tied with him there. If anything, it looks like Pete has lost support since he came in second in Iowa and in New Hampshire back in the Democratic primary. But wait, there's more. Insider is out with another report on this donor-created Kamala versus Pete rivalry. Apparently, Kamala Harris allies are worried that if Buttigieg challenges her in 2024, it will, quote, be ugly and help Republicans. Now, this one is obviously planted by Kamala people who want to send a message that anyone who dares challenge Kamala will be helping Republicans. Also a pretty revealing insight, right? They're not worried Pete might offer a more compelling platform or prove himself more able to govern. They just want to scare Democratic primary voters into staying the course because to inject even the tiniest illusion of Democratic choice would be far too dangerous. Gotta suck it up and vote Kamala. A call back to the uninspiring but ultimately winning message of the Joe Biden campaign. So to the extent that the ruling elite decide you should have a choice here at all, it's between a woman who has proven herself incapable and unimpressive as vice president and a man who, as Secretary of Transportation, should be at the center of the supply chain crisis, but is so irrelevant no one even noticed that he hadn't been working for the past 3 months. Of course, we already know the horrors of living under Donald Trump. Kamala or Pete's most likely general election opponent if it does come down to that. In other words, good luck, America. Sagar, a lot going on here.
Oh,
no,
man,
two people
Krystal.
no one wants.
We don't need this.
Being
Please
foisted
don't
on
do
it. Hey
this.
guys, thanks so much for watching.
That's right. Just as a reminder, you can become a premium subscriber today. Watch the full show completely uncut, our reactions to each other's monologues. You get to listen to it. You get to ask us questions, all that good stuff. Link is right there in the description or at breakingpoints.com.
Best of all, great way to say screw you to the mainstream media.